Mrs. Mastronardi here. Today we are going to look at starting our first project in Scratch. So you need to get to this page and then sign in. And this computer already remembers me, so this is where you would type in your username and your password and then hit sign in. All right, then you're going to go over here to create. And the next page will come up, which is your workspace in Scratch. All right, now, when you get into Scratch, we're going to be starting with one of the tutorials. So you're going to click on tutorials. And the first tutorial that we're doing in class is animate a name. So click on animate a name and you will find the directions for this project. All right, so let's go through this together.
And then we'll pick our first letter.
Okay, now I find that this girl goes really fast. So if you need to, back it up and pause it and then go over it as many times as you have to do it. So the first thing she said was to pick a background. So backgrounds are stored down here under this little picture icon. When you mouse over it, it turns green. And then you click on that and it pulls up the backdrops. You don't have to choose the same one to use. Be creative. You can pick any of these things, and up at the top, there are a number of other choices as well. Okay. So I'll just pick one and let's hear what else she says.
To get started, we'll pick a background. And then we'll pick our first letter. Let's remove the Scratch Cat sprite.
Okay, so we are going to pick a letter sprite. The characters that are in the computer are called sprites for the Scratch program. You come down here to the blue cat head and mouse over it and it will turn green. Click on it and you will see a sprite library full of all the possibilities that you can choose. So enjoy looking around in there and finding something cool that you feel like working with. All right. But for this project, we're supposed to use a letter, which are in this menu on top. So click on that and then find a letter. You're supposed to be doing your name. So, okay. Now, next she said to get rid of the Scratch Cat. So we will click on the Scratch Cat sprite and nothing like is happening up here. So really the N is still selected. And you can tell that if you look down at the bottom. In here, the sprite that is highlighted in blue is the one that is active. So put your mouse over the cat and click on the cat. And now the little trash can pops up and I'm gonna click the X and there goes the cat. Okay, so now let's hear the rest of it. And I'm gonna take closed captioning off so you can see the stage. All right.
Now, let's make it interactive. I'll make the letter play a sound when I click it. For more ideas, click the green arrow.
Okay, so this first letter is going to play a sound. So we are looking for the yellow events block. So click on the yellow dot. And then she dragged over when this sprite is clicked. So click on it and drag it over into the workspace. And then the next one we're looking for is this red violet color, the sounds. Click on the sound dot and it will pull it up the sound library. And then you're going to find play sound until done, which happens to be the first block. So click and drag it and you'll notice these fit together. All right. Now the sound selected is meow. That was the sound for the cat. So I want to put a different sound with this. And what I'm going to do is look up here. There's code, which is the computer language in the blocks that we're using. There are costumes, which that is the sprite that you have selected. And there are sounds. So click on sounds. And then this sound that you see here, that's what the sound looks like. You would hear when the sound plays. All right, so we're going to go down to this speaker and click on it. And this is a sound library of all the possible sounds already recorded in the computer. Okay, in Scratch. So find something that you can use, just something you like is fine. Okay, let's hear the bell. Okay, so if I have the bell selected, I'm going to go back to code. All right, and now it says when the sprite is clicked, play sound meow. So find that down arrow and click on it, and you'll see the sounds that you selected. So now when I click on the N, I hear the bell. So I've actually written my first 2 lines of code. Yay, congratulations. Now, a lot of my students have asked me, well, can you record a sound? I mean, nobody's ever happy with just what is there. So if you wanted to record a sound, you could come down here, click on that down arrow and click on record. And the first time you see this, it's going to ask you to click on a thing that gives it permission to record you. And then from that time on, you will see this orange dot that says begin recording. All right. Hi guys, we're going to make an awesome Scratch animation today and really have a lot of fun and learn some cool computer coding while we're at it. All right, let's play my sound and hear what it sounds like. Awesome Scratch animation today and really have a lot of fun and learn some cool computer coding while we're at it. Okay, I think I got cut short a little here, so I'm going to move this back. I don't think I started talking till here where the volume raised up. Hi guys, we're going to make an awesome Scratch animation today and really have a lot of fun and learn some cool computer coding while we're at it. All right, so click save. And now when I go back to code, I can look under that down arrow and I see recording 1. So I'm going to select recording 1. Now when I click on the N, hi guys, we're going to make an awesome Scratch animation today and really have a lot of fun and learn some cool computer coding while we're at it. Okay, that takes care of our first sprite. So now click on the green arrow and it tells you to pick another letter sprite. So pick the next letter in your name. It's going to keep telling you that until you do it. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to go ahead over to the sprite library, scroll over the cat head, and then click on it and grab my next letter. Okay. Now, this A came up on top of my N, so I'm.
Hi guys, we're gonna make an awesome scratch animation today.
And you can stop that at any time by clicking the stop sign. All right, so now we want to do code for the A. So this is really important. Make sure that you have the A highlighted. Otherwise, all the work you do is still going to be attached to the N. It's always the letter that's highlighted down here, or sprite that's highlighted down there. All right. So what's our next step? Okay. The next step, it says, play a sound when clicked. When this sprite is clicked, play a sound until done. That seems like the one we just did. I'm going to go on. Okay. When the sprite is clicked, change color effect by 25. All right. So when the A is highlighted, I'm going to go look over here in events and click on that gold dot. And we're looking for when the sprite is clicked. Okay. Then it says find a purple looks block that says change color effect by 25. So come over here to looks, find the purple dot, click on that, and you're going to find change color. Okay. Now, I don't think I see that there, so I'm going to have to scroll down and look for change color. Here it is, change color effect by 25. So click and drag that over, and again, they snap right together. Now let's see what happens when I click on the A. Okay, so every time I click, the A is going to change color. All right, all the colors have a number attached to them. So 0 is red, and then, there's all the colors in between. So when sprite is clicked, you can also run that program from over here. Okay, good job. That's your second 2 blocks of computer code. Let's move on to the next letter. All right, pick another letter sprite and make it spin. So this time they're giving you a little more work to do, a little more code. They figure you've got it now and you can advance. We're going to go over and choose a sprite and choose the next letter in your name. All right, and again, if it's in the way, you can click and drag it, but you also want to make sure that that is what's highlighted down here at the bottom. All right, if you're not sure because you have 2 letters the same, when I click back here, I can see there's already some code attached to that one. I want the one that doesn't have any code. Okay, when the sprite is clicked, same thing. Yellow event block. Ooh, click and drag. Turn 15 degrees. So we're going to come up here and get a motion block. Turn 15 degrees. Click and drag it. All right. And then it says wait 1 second. So if you notice the color, that is gold. And also there's a repeat loop here that says repeat 10 times. So that's under the orange controls. So click and drag over, wait 1 second. And now we're going to get the repeat 10 block and hover over it, and you can see it turns gray around there and it snaps right in, and it will repeat that cycle 10 times. So now when I click the sprite, it's going to move 15 degrees 10 times with a little hesitation in between. That's our 1 second. All right, super. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on to the next letter. Pick another letter sprite and make it grow. Okay. So my next letter, go down to sprites. Okay, and again, I can move these so that I have more space. You can see when I'm clicking them and dragging them around, it's highlighting down here. I want to work on the C now, so I got to make sure I click on the C. Oh, click down there. Okay. And it says when the sprite is clicked, so that's easy. We know where that is. Events, click and drag. Now it says change size by 10. So that is a purple looks block. They're color coded. So you look for that. Change size by 10, way down here. And drag it over. All right. And that has a orange repeat loop around it. And so I'm going to go get the orange repeat loop. Hover over the purple block and drop it in place. And now I notice when I'm looking, it says repeat 15, not repeat 10. So to change the variable up here, you click on that white box and it'll turn blue, and then you type in your new number. Okay. Now we need another change size by 10. So that is under looks. Okay. And we need another repeat loop. So we go back to the orange controls and grab a repeat loop. Hover over that purple block and drop it in place. Let me move this down a little. Okay. Now, if you'll notice, this second purple block says change size by -10. So this is really important because we want our letter to grow and shrink. So I'm going to click in this variable box here and it turns blue, and I'm going to type in -10. Okay, so now when I click on the C, it's going to grow and then shrink. Okay. And it says repeat that 15 times. So I guess, you know, you can keep growing and shrinking. All right, but I don't think it's shrinking enough. So let me see what's going on here. Okay. I'm double checking my code here. Let's see, this one should also say 15. So click on that and put 15. Okay. Now I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. So I am going to, I need to set this back somehow. Some of these problems that come up, you'll have to resolve on your own. Like if I don't think this is doing what it's supposed to do, I want it to get it back down so it grows and stays more or less the same size. I'm going to do something drastic here and type in a negative number and see if I can get it back down. Okay, 50 was way too much. So let's see if I just put a -10. Yeah, let's see what happens now. When the sprite is clicked, all right, but it's still getting way too small, right? So I'm just trying to get it back to normal because I messed up. It's still really small. Okay. And now let me see if I click in here and put a -10. what's going to happen? Okay, still bigger than I wanted it. So how about minus 20? Let's cut it in half. Better. All right. So maybe half of that. Okay. So sometimes you run into these kinds of roadblocks and you have to adjust your code. I think in this case, I am just going to set this back because I'm really copying their example. So I'm going to highlight that blue minus 20. I'm going to stick in a minus 10. I'm going to get rid of that C. Okay. And then when I go back this time, I need to get a new sprite because that, when I got rid of it, I got rid of the code as well. So I'm going to come up here, find the C again. Okay, it is highlighted. All right, and when I pull my code over this time, all right, I'm going to pay attention to those numbers because I got myself into a place where I couldn't fix it. So, all right, now I'm going for the repeat block. Oops, and it came in the wrong place. So if that happens, you grab it again and just highlight above the purple. Okay, so this repeat block should be 15. And then I need another change size. That's the purple looks category. Okay, and I need another repeat block. So under controls, repeat, I'm going to highlight and drop it around the purple. And then I have to change some numbers here. So in the repeat loop, it should be 15. Okay, in the change size by, it should be negative 10. Click in the white spot and type in negative 10. Okay, and now let's see how my code runs. Okay, now that's what I expected. So great job. There is your next block of code. Okay, and I have one more letter in my name, though I know that is not what they do. They go to a new background. So this is a little bonus. I'm going to go and get my next sprite. And I'm gonna, whoa, I gotta scroll down to find it because some of the letters aren't showing. All right. Okay, so now I have the Y in my name and I want another action for the Y. So I am gonna click on the event code and pull that over. And now I'm gonna click on motion code and I want my Y to look like it's jumping up and down. So I'm going to take glide 1 second, and then it has some numbers in there. And right now it is at Y4, which means that it's on an XY grid. And what that actually looks like is, if I go into the backdrops here, they actually have one. So that's easier to explain. On your stage, there is a grid of numbers, and the letters that I have there, the sprites, each have a location. The bottom of this grid is minus 180Y. That's this line here. The top is plus 180. All right. That's the height. And then the x-axis, which is the horizontal, is minus 240. Minus is on this side, x, and positive x is 240 over here. Right now, the Y is right on the X, so it's at 0Y. Okay, so let's say I wanted to make this Y jump up. So let me see if I can do that. I'm going to change the position to, let's do 150. Okay. And now when I click on the Y, it's going to jump up. But I want to bring it back down. So I'm going to grab another block of code, glide. And if I want to make it jump and come right back to where it was, I remember that it was at 0. So I'm going to put 0 under the Y category. And now when I click the sprite, I should get better action there. Okay, so let's try the whole thing. He jumps up and back down. Okay, great job. I'm going to move on now in the tutorial, and it says add a backdrop. Okay, which you probably did at the beginning, but now I have this grid here. So if I want to change the backdrop,
Where do you want your project to take place? A soccer field? The ocean? At a concert? To add a backdrop, click this button. I'll pick space. Let's add another. This time, I'll pick spaceship. Use the switch backdrop block to pick which one to show.
okay, so she has you go down here to backdrops, pick another backdrop, okay, and then, oh, all right, when you are in this part that says stage, you will see that the backdrops are highlighted and that this costumes tab is changed to backdrops. Okay, so we are now going to switch backdrop to, drag that over. Okay. Okay.